2, 1.
Welcome, everybody. A beautiful welcome to you all. Saturday, the 27th of June. It is a lovely day. Lovely, lovely day, I must say. More will be elaborated on that in some following shows as we know, Dawn, of why today is such a blessed day. But in this show in particular, we have a lovely, lovely guest with us here today. I'll let Don do the introduction because he has prepared something very, very lovely for you. But the topic, to me, before I hand it to Don, is such an important topic. Beauty is not skin deep. Beauty is not skin deep. What do y'all really think about that? You know, start to type in the chat because this is one that I want to hear from everybody as we go along throughout this webinar. How you feel about word beauty? How do you feel about what beauty is portrayed so that we could tailor this show to you all as specific as need be? But I just want to say a special thank you to all of you who have joined us here today from near and far. Really, really happy to have you all here today. We want to say a special thank you to Republic Bank for continuing to allow us to have this platform to share only love and positivity on this show. So, Don, over to you.
Hello. Thank you very much, Andrew. Welcome one, welcome all. This is webinar number 13 on positive moments with Andrew and Don. And let me tell you, it only gets more positive. And I keep saying over and over, if we're worrying about the next moment, what we need to do is to try to make this moment more positive. And certainly, it will help us with the next moment. And I'm telling you, Andrew, today is going to be extra, extra special because we brought an extra, extra special person. Remembering indeed that everyone is special, everyone is beautiful. The topic is beauty is not skin deep. And we could find no better a person. She's a friend of mine, a wonderful person. You judge for yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to welcome Miss World 1986. Miss World 19... I see Andrew started to shake already. You know what that means? Miss World 1986. Giselle Laronde-West. Giselle, welcome. Giselle, welcome to Positive Moments with Andrew and Don.
Thank you so much. Thanks so much, Dawn and Andrew. It's certainly a pleasure to be here. I'm excited about it.
Wow.
Have you seen the chat going already? Yeah, the chat is going off. They're all happy.
Good.
So if you could see the chat, Giselle, but they're all really happy. You know, someone even saying, "I feel the energy of the beauty." You know, this is the power behind the word beauty, and this is what we really would like to get in here today. So, Don.
Wow. Well, Andrew, you know, it's really a positive moment when people can remember, even though, Andrew, in 1986, you weren't even there as yet. You know, Andrew, that's the truth. I have to say that. You know, he wasn't there as yet. And mommy didn't give daddy that special little look, you know, that little wink, hi, as yet. But I can tell you this, I was 17 years old. And just like many people around at the time, it was such a special moment, again, for Trinidad and Tobago, a special moment, because we had a Miss Universe in 1977 with Penny Comisium, and then we have a Miss World as well. So it's like, whoa, we are on top of the world, the red, white, and black in all its splendor. And I'm telling you, in London, Giselle, it was London, I imagine, in London, and Andrew, let me hear you, I know we all know the name Halle Berry, the actor. So when you see Halle Berry had become 6th or 7th and Trinidad and Tobago on top, you know it's a really special, special day. But Giselle, just to get things going,
she's a very special person.
Certainly. And you know, just this thing about beauty, because we heard this thing about beauty. I've grown up as a guy and you heard this is beautiful and this is not beautiful. Giselle, many years have passed since then. And we want to know from you, Giselle, this thing called beauty. What really does it mean to you? What is beauty? Because beauty has so many different meanings for so many different people. What is beauty? Giselle Laronde, tell us.
It does. It really has so many meanings for so many people. You're very right. And you know, like you said, you hear about beauty and there is this connotation of what beauty is. And people say, okay, you have to have a certain look and you have to have a certain walk and you have to have a certain type of hair and you have to have a certain angle and the shape of the face and all that kind of thing. So there was a categorized beauty growing up. And so I was a tomboy. So I didn't have time for beauty, to be very honest, and all of that. So it was very it's fortunate because it was a godsend to me to stumble upon this whole Miss World thing and this beauty pageant, because like I said, I was a tomboy and people really just encouraged me to do this. They said, this is your time, you need to do this, you're suitable, you have all your accoutrements, etc., etc. Of course, building around that established what beauty is. And I'm saying to myself, you know, but I am a skinny little kid who has scars all over my legs. What are you all saying? They said, yes, but okay, so you're pretty. What does pretty mean? I'm looking at other people and I'm saying, but she's prettier than me, and she's prettier than me. And what are you saying? So they're saying, no, it's just something about you that you just need to do it. You need to do it. And so I did it. And it's only on realization when I won the local leg, I'm saying, but wait, okay, maybe there is something here, right? These people were not just seeing a physical thing, because as far as I was concerned, there were so many flaws in what I see, what I'm looking at as my physical, you know, what are they seeing beyond that? And I said, okay, I'm glad to be able to represent my country. And I went up to London, met all these beautiful, gorgeous girls from what I knew to be beauty. And on meeting them one-on-one, I kept realizing, okay, she may be beautiful outwardly, but I don't like her. She may be beautiful outwardly, but she has something there that just doesn't gel. So then I started to understand what is this beauty about? It is much more than just what this look is. Because you can't have 80-something girls that are all beautiful, yeah? There must be something that's deeper than what I consider beauty and what is beautiful. So then I started thinking more and more about it. And I won the competition. After I won the competition, there was a reception after the event. And so I was asking one of the judges, I got an opportunity to meet one of the judges, and I was asking, so what is it that you found? Because I'm shorter than everybody else, because I was the shortest Miss World. And Miss Venezuela was 6 foot, she was blonde, gorgeous, long hair, long legs and all that. So when I was growing up, that is beauty, oh my God, how could I possibly beat that, you know? And he said to me, he said, you know, when you came on that stage, there was a warmth and a presence that the other girls didn't have. And then I started thinking again about this beauty thing. And I'm saying, so it's just not this outward thing. It's much more. And so I started trying to see the beauty in other people as I continued in life and growing up and, you know, getting into being a woman in the corporate world and all of that. I started looking beyond just the facial beauty. Started seeing things in other people that I found beautiful. So I started not complimenting people and saying, oh, you're beautiful and you're beautiful and you're beautiful. I would start saying, oh, you have a wonderful smile. Oh, beautiful. You know, so it's like, you're now dissecting the person, you know, and saying, because everybody can't be the same. And so if we just say this is one definition of beauty, that would be bizarre, you know. So, and I feel also that it's not always what is out here that is the essence of a good person. It's more internal. I always see it as internal, because what comes out of your soul and out of your personality and your giving and caring is much, much more than what you look like. I've seen so many girls paint on faces, and many times what a lot of us don't even think about. We paint on faces because we lose or have or lack an inner pleasure of ourselves. You know, we dislike ourselves, or we may be insecure, and then we put on this facade because we feel, okay, if I look beautiful, people will appreciate me for who I, you know, what I'm trying to portray. And I guess too, that is why you see there are so many young women going on onto Instagram and all of these social media platforms to enhance themselves and try and project a self that they may not necessarily be. So this whole talk about beauty and, you know, what people perceive it to be is very intense. And I think people need to really, really start thinking about it. I see beauty as compassion, as caring, as love and giving of self. And that's when I see the true beauty of someone. I try my best to be like that. And I feel the value in it when I am like that. When I get all dolls up and glamorous and flick the hair and looking great and whatever, yes, you feel good when you enter and people look at you and you say, wow, you know, they say, wow. But is that it? So I walk around the room and everybody's staring at how gorgeous she looks. Nobody has said a word to you yet, right? So what is it that they're looking at? What is so special about you? It cannot just be the fancy dress that you wore and the beautiful makeup that you put on and stylish hairstyle. You want them to value you as well as a woman for more than that. And so I want people to understand me and cherish me for my compassion, for my joie de vivre, my wanting and caring for other people. And I think that if people start looking inward to other people, they will see more than what's there. So for instance, if somebody typically may be described as a young woman who's not beautiful in the normal sense of the word that we were taught, then find something in that person that makes that person beautiful.
We're excellent.
No, and let them know, male or female actually. Let them know about it. I remember once when I was in London walking down the street with some friends and I'm pointing out to a girl and I'm saying, wow, she's gorgeous. She's pretty, yeah? She's really beautiful. And they're saying to me, no, look at that. She's a big nose and blah, blah, blah. You know, usually, oh, us women can be always envious, right? So I'm saying, no, look at her. Don't just look at that element. Look at the other elements. Look at those eyes. Look at how they pop. Look at those lips. You know, and you started dissecting, and I'm saying to myself, if you start looking at beauty being what makes that person shine, then you have an opportunity to really see the worth of somebody else, you know? So don't start looking at the package that we've grown to know as beauty, but start looking for a beautiful element of someone. And that could be the gesture of her hand, the fact that she stopped to help somebody cross the road, the fact that she picked up something from the fact that, you know, she gave her last piece of bread to someone else who needed it. You know, that is beauty. Because true beauty, as far as I'm concerned, from your compassion, from your inner soul and your love and care for other beings. And if you just stay in your own little bubble, there's nothing there to give to anybody, to give to life, to give to, so why are you even existing, you know? So I think people need to find the beauty within first and accept it as yourself, right? I mean, if you quote, for instance, from the Bible, 1 Peter 3-4, right? He talked about the fact that beauty should not be, you know, the outward garments, the adornments, the hair, the jewels, the clothing that we wear and all of that, but that we should actually look within us, you know, and be a gentle and calming and quiet spirit that is worthy of God, you know, and that God may be. I mean, and I'm not just talking Christianity, you know, I'm talking about everybody, all religions, all whatever you perceive as greater than life that's created this week, you know. And many times we don't think of going back to our spirituality and even our religion to an extent, because I know that spirituality and religion is two totally different things, and that's our whole other. But even in 1 Timothy 2:9-10, they also talked about the same thing, you know. And you could go through the Bible bit by bit and you see where they talk about doing away with the presence. Do not consider the presence of the person, right? Look, and don't look at the outward beauty, the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. If we start thinking like that as well, we would love our neighbors better, we would care for people more, we would show compassion and empathy, you know, and it would make for a better life for everybody. You know, but so that's my take on what beauty is. I don't see it I think it's not skin. It's not just this. It's not just this.
Wow. But,
another argument, and I'm stopping because I could talk a lot about it.
Andrew, I'm listening. I'm listening to Giselle, and let me just say, Giselle, your answer is absolutely divine. Is absolutely divine, and it actually explains how come I look at Andrew as a beautiful person, because that's who he is. Now, between us, we have a lot of questions for you, and Andrew, I know you have a question bubbling there for Giselle. But Giselle, you know, you spoke about you won. It's history that you won in 1986. But you being able to talk about beauty not being skin deep. At 23 years old, your vision of beauty was totally different, and your world too would have changed. Because first of all, did you expect to win, Giselle? Did you expect to win? But that was out of your mind, winning with all these inverted commas beauties.
Correct, of course. I mean, when I turned up there and I had 2 suitcases and everybody had 7, then I was like, okay, fine. You know, I knew right away that I am not going to match up to their wardrobe. And then not only that, but I mean, I'm thinking I am the shortest person there. I come from Trinidad, and I come from a little part of Trinidad. I have not grown up with a lot of the airs and fancies that some of the other girls came. I mean, a lot of them were rich. They came from great backgrounds in terms of, you know, they would have learned elocution before and all of these kinds of things. So I was not there to win necessarily. I was there to represent my country and represent my country to the best of my ability and do the best that I could do, which is what I think everybody should strive for in life. Be the best you that you could ever be. And that in itself is beauty. You know, when you try to be the best that you could ever be, no matter what you do, that is your beauty. Yeah, so I went there with that intention. Okay, no matter what, I'm going to do well, I'm going to represent well, and I did just that. I did this, just that. In fact, I was telling somebody the other day, because I'm still I'm on a chat with quite a few of the other girls from the competition still. And I was saying that we were reminiscing, and I was saying, remember when it was 5 of us in my time, we had the 5 queens of beauty. So it was Asia, Oceania, Africa. At that time, I was considered the queen of the Americas. And there was one particular that everybody thought was going to win. Again, going back to the ethos of what was beauty. And that was Miss New Zealand. So she was in the lineup for Miss Oceania. So I turned to Swaziland and I said, she won, she's getting it, she's getting it, she's gonna win. And as soon as I said that and we looked at her, they called my name. And I was like, what? I couldn't believe it that they're calling me. So that threw it out of the water right away, this whole thing of beauty. What is it? Oh my goodness, I beat her.
Wow.
And of course, Halle Berry as well. Beautiful woman from what we know. Then I know, right? And then she's that 6th place, you know. So I felt at that moment divine. I felt that God had provided me with an avenue for many things. One, to make sure that I have self-worth, to give me an opportunity to get some money to go to college. So at that moment, I was thinking, wow, this is definitely divine. I didn't plan for this, from the fact that I kept pushing it away and saying that, you know, I was a tomboy, there's no way I'm doing this. The fact that they pushed me to do it, I'm here, and all of this is happening, it was divine. So I said all of that to really say that being on that platform in a world of beauty was an eye-opener for me in many, many ways. And it made me realize that there is so much more to what people deem beauty.
I have a 2-part question.
Beauty with a purpose.
The first part is, were you competing?
Well, the thing is, once you decide, well, that's me anyway. Once I decide that I'm going into something, I'm competing, right? I'm giving it my all. I know that I'm going there to give it my all. And once you're going into something to give it your all, you're competing. Whether you figure that you're going to win or not, that's another story, right? But I was competing, yes. So I did all that I thought was right, that I needed to do to be able to represent the country. Yeah.
Okay, that is exactly the answer I wanted to hear, because you went there with the ambitions to compete, and when we go somewhere to compete, we go to do our best, we go to win. And I'm really gathering the feeling that you didn't just go there to win a competition or come up with a title. You went there for something much bigger and much more than that. What did you really go there for?
That's right. It was not just to win. It was to find self, in all honesty. There to see, okay, I'm competing against these people. I'm representing my country. Can I really represent my country well? All that I've been taught, can I really do this properly? Can I show that I am worth something as well? Because, you know, you're growing up a little tomboy, you're shy as well, which is what I was. Even in the competition locally, I was shy. And so I was gaining insight and development as I went along. And this to me was also not just winning the crown, but can I really stand up to them? Can I really do this? And so that was really what was pushing me. I also got the opportunity to meet other young women all around my same age, to find out more about the world, about what they felt, about their take on life. I also had the opportunity to find out about this beauty that we talk about. What does it really mean? What does it mean to other people? Where was she from? Miss Portugal. She couldn't care that she was there to win. All she wanted was freedom. She just wanted to be free. She just wanted to be free from her family, you know, free from her parents. So I went there and I learned so much about what women were going through my age. You know, the fact that some of them wanted to run away from home. The fact some of them wanted to commit suicide. Some wanted to bondage of family. And so they got this opportunity to escape. There were some girls from some pageants I know who, when they got to England and they were competing, after the competition, they didn't go home. They found a way to get out. So it was a forum for me to really understand self, understand women my age, understand what was happening in this big wide world out there that I'd never been exposed to before, and then winning the competition. So,
Awesome.
The crown was kind of like the last thing.
Because this was I wouldn't try to say I know, but this was, if not probably the biggest confidence moment in your life, but it was the journey to finding this confidence builder. And Claudia said it here, beauty is confidence. So I want to talk a little bit about the journey to someone's confidence. Like for me, I really enjoy putting on a nice suit and going to an event, and it makes me feel, you know, like more comfortable, confident in what I do. But really and truly on a daily basis, I feel confident in myself already. But that little extra feeling is fun. And we see all these things around us of guys dressing up and women dressing up and putting on these things. And to me, I only see it as, if you're doing it, it must be fun, it must be something you enjoy, and it must be genuine to you. You know, we have all these people around us, everybody in the world around us should be an inspiration for us becoming the best us. For me to become the best me, not a follow. As Don says, if you're following somebody and doing what they do, you'll always be an imitation. To be the most genuine of yourself is to really and truly go. I put on this piece of clothing, whatever it is. I dress the way I did today because this is me. And I came here to showcase me. And I know you do that every time. I know Don does that every time. But I feel like a lot of people on their journey to finding their confidence and on their journey to understanding what true beauty is, they get lost on that journey. And some of them, I don't know if they actually ever find it. And I really want to use this platform here today to inspire male and female, whoever it is, to really, how do you find that journey to confidence?
Yeah.
I think you nail on the head, because first of all, it's finding self before you find anything else in life. You know, find self, try and find who you are, and be true to yourself. Make sure that you understand, okay, I am not one for high heels, so why am I wearing 6-inch high heels? Just right? If this is who I am, this is who I am. And if somebody does not love me for who I am, or care about me for who I am or what I look like, then something has to be wrong there. I agree to a point with Claudia that beauty is confidence, because a young woman could walk into a room barefoot with minimum clothing. Let me rephrase that. She could walk into the room barefoot with a crocus bag on. And she walks into that room with such confidence that we see beauty right away. We are drawn right away. You know, somebody could walk in there, may not be what we call class typically beautiful, but with the most radiant, awesome smile that you could ever think of. That is beauty. That is beauty. What draws you to a person? That is beauty. It's not, you know, all your jewels and pearls. It is what draws you to people.
Wow.
Most enlightening smile. It's not smile, laugh. I have gone to places where I have heard somebody laugh with the, you know, when they say with their belly.
Yeah.
You laugh. Yeah, like you don't. You know, you laugh. And you say, wow, wow. You want to laugh. That is beauty. You know, so we have to start finding ourselves, what makes us tick, what makes us valuable to others, and that is your beauty. And anything else you put onto that, add on to that, should be added on, should be an appendage, should be excess to your beauty. You know, and like for instance, like I say to some girls, you have beautiful eyes, use your eyes. You know, when I'm talking to them. Forget everything else, use your eyes. Even a simple thing like if you're putting on makeup. If eyes is your thing, go to the eyes, do your thing with your eyes. You know, make sure that whatever you have that God has given you and blessed you with as your beauty, you use it. You know, a girl going up for Miss TNT this year as well, has the most amazing dimples. I said to her, if I ever see you not smiling, I'm going to give you lips. You need people to see those dimples. Yeah. But you're very right, Andrew, in that you need to really know self, delve deeply and find who you are, because you can get lost. And I see a lot of young ladies getting lost as well, especially when they go into these pageants and they don't win and they're like, oh my goodness, I did everything right and I had the thing and I was the best looking and I had this and of course and they don't win and they are devastated. And when I say devastated, I mean to the point where I have known some people to be suicidal because of it. I was supposed to do this and it didn't happen. And sometimes it also boils down to peer pressure, parent pressure, and all of those things as well that us as women and men have to deal with. And so we need to really push that pressure back and say, look, the only pressure I take in now is what God telling me, right? Push that pressure back. God can't be pressuring me.
Exactly.
Let myself find what I'm good at and do what I'm good at. It goes back to parents pushing their children to be things that they're not supposed to be. They're not born to be. Your child, in the old days when people used to write with their left hand, no, that's wrong. It's supposed to be a right hand, and they switch the hand. Right? Or somebody, Claudia, a wonderful artist, wanting to be creative and become a designer. No, my child has to be a doctor, or you have to be a lawyer, or whatever. Why? You need to find yourself and find what you're good at and do what you're good at. Because what you're good at, you will get nowhere.
So what you're saying is you gotta create as the last session was about leadership. And I'm gonna bring a little leadership into this. To be a good leader, you must create the pathway for one to see their beauty. That is a genuine, really good leader, because if you can see the beauty in someone's hands or their feet or something that's not very seen, very popular, or very often, I should say, this allows someone to have that small piece of confidence and now build on another thing and another thing. And eventually, the little bits of confidence versus telling someone something is not looking good and destroying their confidence, or trying to, as you said, trying to tell someone what their beliefs in beauty is and for them to receive that. No, everyone should be able to choose their own, you know, their own way of thinking about beauty and the way of thinking about how I want to portray my beauty and let that confidence roll. Now, this is much easier said than done. And
yes.
And in the world that we're living in today, I think that it's a lot easier fixed when we think about it as in let that person if you have a thought to tell somebody they're ugly, or that doesn't look good, or you shouldn't do this, or you shouldn't wear that, really, really take the opportunity to refrain from what you say to somebody, because that one comment can make them suicidal. That one comment can destroy all their confidence. And you need, or we need to be the person, we need to be the people that uplift one another, that's there for one another. That you could come and ask me, hey, does this look good? And you give your honest feedback and genuine feedback, but with love. With love.
Yeah. I think sometimes, and that's key, because sometimes it is very good to have constructive criticism. It is also very good to recommend to a friend, hey, don't wear that. But it's how you do it, how you say it, right? Because you really don't want your friends to be walking and looking stupid anyway, either. So you must be able to say, hey, that's not looking good on you, right? But it's how you say it. It's supposed to be coming from a good place, and they're supposed to know, because of the person who you are, that it is coming from a good place. So then, therefore, it's accepted. I'll tell you another story. There was this young girl that I had met when I was in England as well, and she so wanted to be a model. She was a little plump, she was short, but she was adamant, I have to be a model, I have to be a model, I want to be a model. I said, well, look at it this way. You shouldn't really think about ramp work because you're too short for that, right? Let's face facts, yeah? So I was trying to break it down to her, so let's look at what you are positive, what you have going for you, right? So you have a beautiful face, and there's beautiful angles, you have beautiful hair, da, 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 da. Why not use that and focus on that and try and become, yes, a model, but just for fashion, makeup, earrings, jewelry, that kind of thing. She had beautiful hands, use your hands. So forget about all the other things and what you think other people want you to do, or what is, and focus on what you have that is of great value, that can get you where you want to be. And she did it, and now she's doing great things with makeup and hand modeling and that kind of thing. So it's just sometimes also to understand what people want, what they really want, and try and help them as well as friends along the path that would be best for them. So you're not saying, no, you shouldn't do that, or don't do that, whatever, but saying, okay, well, maybe you could look at it in a different way, and help people find themselves. Because a lot of times people don't help each other find themselves, because I'm too quick to work on my own self. I may have a friend and she's trying to find, what is she good at? What does she like? Da, da, da. Do you take the time to help that person? Or do you criticize her? Do you just pull her down when she really needs to be pushed up? Are you too focused on pushing yourself up to shine among your friends, as opposed to looking at your friends and seeing who needs pushing up? Because that also happens too. There may be a clique of friends, 5 friends, and one girl shines all the time. So she's the hottest chick on the block, and all the guys like her, and she's the thing of the party, and so she looks good and all that. So she has her little partner, so all the other girls are coming around because she's popular, and they want to boost their confidence, so they're around her. Has that one person taken the time to look at her other friends and say, oh, I didn't realize that she has a self-confidence issue, and this one, well, she doesn't have a good family background, so she's why are they flocking to me? Because I'm in the limelight. Let me find that way and find how I can help them, so that we can all be in the limelight together, So those are some of the things that we should start looking at as women or as men with friends. And the world would be a much better place if we were to
do that. If I could add, Giselle, if I'm hearing correctly, there's something special about every single one of us. And Giselle, there's something people don't know about you. I guess we're going to let it out now, but people don't know that you're a 3rd-degree black belt. Let me say again, let me say it slow, 3rd-degree black belt. Because, we have this, sometimes even it might be our parents inadvertently pushing us into a particular mold and not realizing that we have other dreams, we have other aspirations, things that we can go on to. Who would expect that a Miss World contestant will be fighting karate? So, but Giselle, you just talk about that, because some people don't know that about you.
Oh, yeah. The thing is, how that came about? 2 things. Two things spurred me on to doing that. One, because my friend said she was doing it. And she said, come and watch. And so I went and I looked at the class, and I saw all of these young women in the class. It was a class of women. I'm saying to myself, no, going back to the whole beauty pageant thing, I'm saying, wow. You know, since I won that pageant, anybody's always thinking about me is as this beauty queen, this pageant girl.
Wow.
And then I thought about all the things that the people in the competition went through. Some of the girls that were in the competition, they went through, and how insecure they were and all that. I said, my goodness, you know, this is such a good platform for people to really pull themselves out. And I saw the girls on the floor getting into it. And I said, this is confidence. And if I could show to people that, yes, I was a beauty queen, but there's so many layers to who Giselle Laronde-West is. You know, how can I show that? And I know that I had an athletic background. I'm saying, I like this karate thing. So I'm combining all of those things in my mind, and I'm saying, I'm going to do this. And I started class that exact same day during college. And I never looked back since then. And this is at 29. So I started really, the bones were already turning. So it was hard, hard work. But I worked my way through it. And I said, I was adamant. People are not just going to see me as a beauty queen, because that was also something that plagued my life, my adult life. Because yes, everybody is saying, okay, she's a beauty queen, she has everything going for her, she looks good, people want her, da, 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 da. But no, not all the time, because I had to fight in the corporate world to be recognized as not just a beauty queen, but as somebody with brain. And the ability to say, okay, yes, I'm a beauty queen, but I can do this, I can do that. And the beauty pageant has come so far from what it meant to start at how many years ago, that people forget that it's not just a beauty pageant, they're just looking at the facade. You know, right now they're doctors and lawyers and people who are studying all sorts of things in this pageant. So you can't just brand them as this little bimbo on stage anymore. And they never should have in the first place, because as I said before, it was people finding themselves, finding their confidence, and that was a platform to do so. Other people choose other platforms. So yeah, so karate was a great one for me to say, look, I can be as aggressive as they can be, I can beat butt, and I can be as elegant and charming and gracious as you want me to be. So in essence, you can have the best of all worlds. You can be who you truly want to be. Whether somebody throwing somebody over your back onto the floor, giving them 2 chops in their head, or standing up and looking gorgeous in a gown made by Claudia Pigas, you know? So yeah. It is important for all women to understand that, and men.
Absolutely. And what I have realized over time is to allow me to find the way I want to operate and the way I want to be received and seen on the whole. I had a couple of years ago, when I was on my first Olympic campaign, I realized I have to see myself as a brand. What does that brand want to stand for? So as I was on this journey to build my personal brand, of course I was designing it for the sailing world and to attract sponsors and to really and truly get this brand Andrew Lewis out there so that I could do what I needed to do to go to the Olympics. And I started to realize that my brain would go away from sailing. Like, how do I want to be seen if I am not in a sailing activity? And how do I want to be seen around my family? And those kind of things. So I started to reshape my brand to really who I generally wanted to be. And I started to realize, okay, now that I'm actually like writing down on paper how I want to be seen and how I want to portray myself, it was actually coming out in front of me on paper. Wow, this is how I want the world to see Andrew Lewis for now and forever. And it allowed me to be my true self more than ever, because I'm there writing myself, okay, cool. I want to be seen like this. I want to do this. I want to represent this. And I really have became really connected to that, to the point now where I mentor different boys and girls. And I really encourage them, build your own personal brand, because it really allows you to strive for what you want and to be what you want, versus waiting to hear a message over here and a message over here and see someone over there and say, oh, I like that. And get lost, because we could get lost without knowing who we truly are and what we really want. So designing a personal brand is really powerful. Do you believe in a personal brand?
I do believe in a personal brand, and I think it is tied back to who you genuinely are, not just your outward accomplishments, but who you are as a person. I struggled when I came back after being crowned Miss World and going through the year, coming back to Trinidad, because when you come back, it's like totally, it's chalk and cheese. You know, you go from living like Lady Di to living like Giselle. And so, so it was a big twist in your mind and your psyche, and how are you going to live differently now, you know? And so for some people, if you don't have that self-esteem and if you're not developed who I am as a person, then that's a huge letdown. So you've gone from living a specific kind of life and you're back to normal living, having to jump in a maxi taxi if you don't have a car in Trinidad, right? Going and living with your mother or finding some little pokey hole when you're used to drinking champagne, driving Mercedes-Benz, being chauffeur-driven everywhere, staying in the best hotels in the penthouse and all of those kinds of things. So it's a big difference, capsize your life actually. So when I came back, it was okay, but that whole living is not me. It's not all that I strive to be or all that is necessary in my life. And so it was important for me to focus on self and focus on what are all the things that I'm good at. That's not just built underneath that crown. And I think that's what people need to remember to do every time. Even the girls who go up and represent us at Tobago, they live a certain lifestyle for a good month. When they come back, it's hard to adjust. Wow. And so it's important for them. And like before they go, that's the first thing I tell them. I said, make sure you're true to yourself, make sure you know who you are, and make sure that you do not change when you go into this competition. And so that is very important. When I came back, it was a little difficult for me to fit into society because people expected me to be a certain way, you know, be and this is Giselle, and you know, hold my glass this way, and how do you do? And, you know, that kind of not me. I'm like, how you doing it? You know, so but I was not eloquent enough. I was not aloof enough for a Miss World, you know. And so I struggled with that for a little bit at the beginning. And then I said, you know, as the Jamaicans say, cha, why am I going through the stress? Right? Why can't I be me? And you just love me for who I am.
Yes.
Love me for who I am, whether I had a crown or not. And so that helped me. That helped me guide young girls, guide young women, give me a better insight as to how, when the girls came up for the Miss Trinidad and Tobago shows, because I was adamant on sticking with the pageant, no matter who had the franchise, because I felt it my duty as Miss World Trinidad and Tobago to be able to nurture the people, give them the experience I've had, and make them understand and be sure that they have to be true to themselves. So that was my mantra. That has been my mantra for over the years, and that has been my passion. So it was a struggle for quite a few years, making sure that I stayed true to myself and not let that crown define me, define who I am. And also you have to consider your family as well. I can't be saying, okay, Christophe, bring my slippers, please. I am waiting for the food. So I'm queen.
Yes,
right?
yes.
You get the groceries.
Wow.
You know, at the end of the day, I'm a married woman with 2 children, a wife and a mother. So therefore, you assume those duties, you know, you fit it all in. And sometimes it can be tiring because you're trying to satisfy your corporate world, you're trying to satisfy the beauty world, you're trying to satisfy people wanting you to do different things, and then have your family life and your husband, your wife duties to attend to. So if you're not centered and you don't know who you are, then you can be really messed up.
Wow.
And so it's important as a young woman to really, really find yourself above all. You know, many times, and our goal is to, oh God, I need to find a man, a nice man, because I have to get married and I have to have children and I have to, right? Now it's changed a little bit, so I have to, maybe not in that order, but I have to have education and tea and all of that. So it's after what I have to do and who says that I have to do certain things and how they say I have to, what line. Find self first. Find self, find compassion, find determination, find confidence in you as a person. Then you can do everything that you want to do.
Wow. If I'm hearing Giselle too, you know, when you know your own worth, nobody can make you feel worthless.
That's right.
And in the world that we live in, people are always looking for a celebrity. Andrew, a celebrity. Giselle, a celebrity. But they have to, as you just articulated so beautifully, and I use that word purposefully, you articulated so beautifully that it's really remaining grounded. Because yes, people will always recognize you, but more importantly, what will they recognize you for? Because the eyes are going to be on you. Yes, you're in the front page of the newspaper or the back page of the sports or whatever. But what are people going to know you for? And Giselle, let me tell you, you will not remember this. But Giselle, in 1986, when you came back with all the thing going on, Republic Bank had their YouthLink trainees, and they invited Miss World 1986 to come and address the YouthLinkers. And don't ask me how I did it, but I was the one who had to say thank you on behalf of all the YouthLinkers. You know? You know, that's a little, you suspected that, right? But
yes.
at the end of it, Giselle, what I left with after hearing you speak and sharing your story, and remember the crown and all this kind, what I remember is that you were grounded. And that to me was so impressionable on me that no matter what you achieve in life, you must remain grounded. And that's something I admire about Andrew, something I admire about yourself. Actually, Andrew, everybody we've had on the show, on Positive Moments with Andrew and Don, has been very, very much similar. In spite of the achievements, in spite of the public things, let me tell you, there's a lot more that we have to offer to life. And Giselle, just to give you a quick question for you. What's your strength? Because you sound very centered. And I'm seeing people typing that all the time in the chat. You sound very centered. Giselle, what's your strength? Because you're stronger than a face. You're stronger than a name. You're much stronger than any of those things. What's your strength, Giselle? What's your go-to? What's your strength?
Oh, my strength? I think it's always being able to discuss things with myself first. Not necessarily take everything that everybody else is saying full on. So somebody says X, I say, okay, but there's Y, Z, and A. And then I weigh it. And then I say, what is it worth for me? What does that mean to me? Does it make sense? Does it not make sense? And then I make decisions. And I tend to have a calming spirit because I'm very spiritual. So I tend to not let or try, it doesn't always work, to let all the negativity that's around penetrate my bubble, you know? And so I always try to find the good things in people, the good things in a situation. And when you try to find that, then that, can you imagine, if you're finding all the good things and holding on to the good things, then you're
beauty, you're finding beauty, if I'm correct.
Right?
Beauty.
That is the beauty. That is beauty, yeah. And so, because what tends to happen to us is that we immediately are drawn or look to the negatives in things. You know, oh, she's so-so. Oh, that don't look right. Oh, I don't like that dress. Oh, I don't like. What about, oh, she don't look so good, but I like that about her. Oh, I don't like that dress, but hey, that dress, the color not bad. Why don't we start looking at the good elements in things, people, and surround yourself with good thoughts, good energy, good feeling. Give good. And you know, there's this thing about if you give to others, you will get back. I believe that I believe that strongly. I believe that strongly. And I feel that people should focus on giving more than anything else. Why take? You should not be trying to take from people.
Wow.
Try and give something. If you have something small that you figure will make a difference in someone's life, give it to them. You know, I see too many times that people hoard things, and they, you know, this is my pencil and I love this pen. I bought this pen in Zimbabwe and I got this and then and I have all these things that are my treasures. There's no one going to give it to me. There's this girl who does not even have a pen.
Wow.
Why can't you give your pen from Zimbabwe to her? You know? That's how I think, or I try to think. Of course, I'm not rich enough to be giving everybody that I see who needs something, something. I wish I could.
I think we're all rich enough
Tell
to
you,
give.
if that money that I want $1 million.
I think we're all rich enough to give the most important and most powerful thing. It's the gift of words, the gift of powerful words. Your money cannot buy what your mouth can do. The words that can come out your mouth. The ability to give somebody that hope, that positivity, that you look beautiful. I love this about you. I want to encourage all the audience here today to take the opportunity here to give the most powerful and free gift that you have. Money will never buy this. Money can never buy this. Tell somebody how beautiful they think they are. Tell them about their smile. Tell them about all the love they give to you, how beautiful it is. This show is going amazing here, but what I really want everybody who's part of us here today, all the attendees, is to reach out to somebody. Near, far, whatever they are, just tell them they're beautiful. Boy, girl, daughter, son, because that's what we need more of. You spread that beauty, you spread that love, and it's gonna make this world a better place. It's as simple as that.
It will.
Free.
Well, for sure it will, and I've proven it. I've proven it many, many times. I have seen young girls look sad, and I tell them one little thing about them that's great, and you see the smile.
Oh, wow. Priceless. Priceless, Giselle. That's priceless.
And so I know it works. And you know what I want to say? I want to say that, you know, we're talking about beauty is not skin deep. But let's twist it a little bit. Let's say that the beauty that we know is skin deep. Forget that. But what we should focus on is the compassion, kindness, care, love, self-worth, and to lift others up before self. And at the end of the day, when we can do that, if we can do that, it makes for a better living. It makes for a better living because you go satisfied that you've just made someone happy, you know, and it's a great feeling. Great feeling to have.
You know, you're talking there, and you're reminding me of Mother Teresa. You know, because we can't help everybody, but there's somebody that we can help with everything as best as we can. Give them our hearts and give them pure, unconditional love. And Giselle, you would have felt pure, unconditional love, I imagine. Could you just describe that moment? Because you went on a plane ride, some thought she's going on a plane ride, but you came back a beauty queen. And that moment when the plane landed in Trinidad and Tobago, and you know we're going to get a warm welcome, the doors opened, whether it was the Prime Minister or whoever was there to meet you. Could you describe what that moment was like? Just walk us through that moment a little bit. What is it like? What was it like, in fact?
Well, the journey back on the aircraft was a great introspective time. It was an opportunity for me to say, okay, Giselle, what have you done? What have you achieved? What is it going to be worth when you get back? And are people going to really genuinely appreciate what you've done? And when I came home and I saw all these people in the street and in the motorcade and all of that, and that's when I felt I won the crown. Like, wow, yes. Wow. Special feeling because I have made my people happy and they actually appreciate what I was able to do to bring and you know, secure victory. And that was the moment when I felt like the true queen and felt that I had achieved something. You know, when I came home and my people appreciated what I'd done. And same thing with over the years, you know, when people come up to me, even now, 30-something years after, and they say, oh my God, I was so happy to see you win, blah, blah, blah. I was in a bar drinking, celebrating, and getting stories from people all over the world talking about where they were when I won as a Trinidadian and what it meant. That to me was the crown. You know, there's that special feeling that, hey, oh my goodness, tears come into my eyes.
That's beautiful. That's beauty.
Wow.
Sorry.
That's beauty.
Wow.
That is
beauty. Wow.
But just that feeling that I've achieved something for my country and I'm being appreciated, you know?
Wow. And then the platform, Giselle, that gives you now, the platform it allowed you now to be able to do something for someone else. I saw some pictures with you genuinely engaging with some youngsters. And to me, those pictures were just so beautiful. You know, you saying something, and people are saying it in the chat. Just a couple words, just to say something. You are beautiful. You
Yeah.
are lovely. You have lovely dimples. You have a lovely smile. I
Right.
believe in you. You are priceless. Just those words, Giselle, and especially coming from you, Giselle.
You know,
Go ahead, sure.
no, you know, that struck home to me a lot when I was traveling as Miss World, and I went to Poland, and we went to a little children's orphanage in Gdansk, and I met these children that were challenged, physically challenged, mentally challenged, and so just picture this little black girl sitting on a couch. I think I went into the playground with them. So I'm in the middle there in this playground. All of a sudden, these little cute little white children, not aware of what life was about fully because they, you know, they're in what they're going through, and coming to me and just touching my hair, touching my face with such, when I tell you, just as I'm doing it here, with such awe and wanting to embrace and hug, and you know, I'm getting goosebumps. That to me was when I realized, oh my God, people are so needing so much. You know, I have a picture at home, and remember,
you're making me cry, Giselle. You're making me cry. You know, you're making me cry.
If I was doing it just at home, I would have showed you the picture. There's a picture of me with this little girl lying on my, she just came and she just lay on my legs. And she refused to move. We literally had to drag her off. And that same sort of effect happened when I went to El Salvador. And this one really blew me out, and I hope I'm not going to cry again. But I went to El Salvador. There was this orphanage with 500 little girls and boys, all between the ages of 3 and 6. And I went in there, and of course I've been practicing hablando un poquito de español to tell them something in Spanish. And I went up and I said my few words and everything, and I had an opportunity to go to the different rooms and play with them and just engage, get so much out of them. And there was this one little girl when we were leaving, she refused to let me go. She kept helping me, holding on to my skirt and saying, Mama, Mama, por favor. She kept begging me to stay. That wrenched me. You have no idea. I cried from that orphanage all the way back to the hotel because, one, I felt like I was in a position to help and I couldn't. And so that was heart-wrenching. And I kept saying, can't we do something? And then, of course, they tried to explain everything to me because I'm a novice to this, you know, so I know we can't because there are 400 others, and what are we going to do, and how are we going to do it? And then there's all those different things we have to go through. But I didn't want to see that. All I was seeing is that this little child needed me, and I wanted to take her, you know. So it's just a case of opening up self and trying to give of yourself whenever you get the opportunity to. I think it's most important in life. And I think if we try to do that, then we will see beyond just what people are looking at as beauty being just external. The paint on your face, the hair, the way you do your hair, the makeup that you put on, the jewelry that you wear, when they will see that you need to be more than that. You need to develop a spirit, have a compassion, have a penchant to care about people. And the more we try, if even in a minute way, because we're not all enduring and becoming, you know, depending on our backgrounds and how we've been brought up and all of that, but we are adults and we have an opportunity to try and create our future if even we didn't have a good past. So it's to take every opportunity we have to develop ourselves and look within and see what strength we have to be able to lift someone up, you know.
Andrew, let me hear. Andrew, my tears, I am a little speechless right now, right?
Oh gosh.
Andrew, no, but
I didn't mean for that to happen.
But let me tell you, because it's real, and Giselle, you are real, and that's what it's all about. You know, Andrew, when I say again, we could not have had a better person on. I wasn't just saying those words lightly. We could not have had, because people see people in the newspaper forever. Every time you go in a function, Giselle, they'll always say Miss World 1986. Giselle Laronde-West, Miss World 1986. But there's a lot more that goes to you, and you recognize that. That's my takeaway from this, you know. that you know that. I knew that before. But to give a chance for Trinidad and Tobago and the rest of the world to be able to know that we have somebody here who understands what is really beauty. I just say that skin deep thing, that the world thinks, okay, that's what you think. But there's so much more for it. And that's what positive moments is all about. Some people could just type us how you feel in the chat, folks. How you feel. Let me gather myself while Andrew has a question. And let me look at the chat. You all could just type us how you feel.
I want to say something, and I want to hear a response from you too, Dawn, because every day the world is evolving. The world I feel like I was brought up in was much more beauty conscious than I take it to be now. I felt like image and beauty was much more important and much more of a much more complicated thing is the right word I want to use when I was growing up, that you have to look this way and you have to dress this way and you have to talk like this and you have to operate like this. Whereas over the years where I've built my own personal brand, I do what I do and I feel super respected because I am me. And a lot of times it's so easy to get lost inside it. It's so easy to think that, you know, that you need to go and buy these expensive things to look beautiful, not because you generally want it. And instead of maybe putting on something that's not a brand, but maybe you look even more beautiful in it because it actually fits you better. So for me, I really want to hear from both of y'all that have y'all experienced this in your life where you felt like you're being pulled to something that wasn't real, or maybe still feel like that till today. You're being pulled to something that's not true to you, not real to you, because marketing is very powerful. Marketing is what the world does, and they want to sell these things to us, and they want to sell more product, and they want us to do this and want us to do that. But left, right, and center, there's this being sold to me and that being sold to me, and oh, I like that, but do I really stay true to that? Do you all still feel like you're being pulled like that in a way, and you have to stay control of who you really are?
Sometimes still, yeah. And like it goes back to making sure that you know what you want and what you like, to ensure that you're not pulled. Of course, sometimes there are duties that you have to perform as well sometimes. So you may have to play the part sometimes, so that I'm not negating that. I think it's necessary. So if I'm invited to a cocktail reception, I'm not going to turn up in slippers and jeans, right? So you know what you have to do and when you have to do it and that kind of thing. And so I'm certainly not knocking the fact that you need to sometimes put on a garment that you may not necessarily like. Because, for instance, if I had to make an appearance somewhere and someone is offering me to wear something of theirs and that I don't 100%, this is not necessarily what I would wear as a preference, but I am doing the person the favor, and I figure that, you know, it'll be good to be able to get the publicity for them, to be able to get something to wear that is suitable to that specific environment, then yeah, you wear it. But again, it's because you know that, and it's because you've chosen to do that. So knowing and choosing are very important when you make a decision in life. And so you say, okay, this might not be my style, but because I want to go there and I want to do this, I have chosen now to put on this persona to be able to fit into that environment for that moment. And so those are the choices that we make. But if you're not true to yourself and you don't know who you are and where you are, then you can get caught up and pulled in the wrong direction. And so that's why it's important to always go back to self and inner worth and inner sense.
Yeah. So if I could just add to that, for me, you know, I've had the opportunity to tour schools with Andrew, tour schools by myself, you know, courtesy Republic Bank. And there are kids who come up afterwards and they ask you to sign this piece of paper for them. And what I do is I purpose in my heart is that every child that approaches me, I have to leave that child feeling better about themselves. And that's something that I make the choice in my heart as well, to make sure that this child understands all this thing about celebrity in the media. You could get caught up in that and be lost in that. What that person has come to me, they've come to me as a person, and I remind them that you're a person as well too. And I want you, if you have to do anything, and if I impress you so much, be impressed by the fact that I made you feel better about yourself. Be impressed that you want to do the same thing for somebody else. You pay it forward as well. You do something for somebody. I was in St. Lucia speaking at a school, and a little child ran down the car. And I put down the window, and I mean, Giselle, just like the child, I didn't want to come off of you. The child said, "Sir, you mean the world to me." Now, Giselle, I started to cry immediately because, I mean, this is St. Lucia, this Trinidadian guy getting this warm reception in St. Lucia like that. And I said, "You know what? You mean the world to me." And then here's what I did, Giselle. I gathered myself, and I said to the child, I said, "What do you want to be?" And she said, "Sir, I want to be a writer." And here's what I did. I used the opportunity to tell her, "My name is Don Lafoucault, and I believe that you could be the best writer in the world that you could ever be. You could be the best. And guess what? You could be writing for a magazine, not just a St. Lucia magazine, but a magazine in America. And guess what? They asked you to do a feature on a Trinidadian guy, and that's me. And I want you to go for it." And Giselle, that girl, the confidence that she walked off with, because she got a bigger vision of herself.
Yeah.
And I said, I cried. I mean, I put back up the glass. The driver's looking at me. This man cries. Yeah, we all cried. I'm crying, and I'm saying, if I came to St. Lucia just for that, it was more than worth it. Giselle, if you came to the earth, you know, just to do Miss Universe, or Andrew, you know, we still, Giselle, we want him to get an Olympic medal now. A 3-time Olympian, time for the medal, right?
Yes.
But guess what? The platforms that we have and the opportunities all three of us may have to help somebody feel better about themselves, I think that's something we should do every single day. Whether somebody wants an autograph or not, whether somebody wants a picture, God allowed us to be gifted with certain talents to help other people find their talents. It's not about us. We shouldn't ever be selfish and say, why can't you be me?
Yeah.
You know? So
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. And the thing is, people make mistakes in life as well.
Yes.
Not everybody is a saint. You can't say, I mean, I'm certainly not a saint. You know, I've made mistakes in life as well growing up. You know, so it's, we just need to understand who we are. And I mean, I keep saying that over and over and over, but it's so true that that's the ultimate, you know. And like you said, Don, you don't have to be a celebrity. You don't have to wear a crown. You don't have to win in the Olympics or anything like that to be able to do some little good deed in your life, you know. We are surrounded by it all the time, surrounded by the opportunities. And there are many, many really, really good people there who should be wearing a crown, who should be honored, who should be given a medal, and they're not recognized. And that's fine, as long as they within themselves know that they are doing something that's good, that's genuine, that's God-giving, that's, you know, going to change somebody's life, then wow, you know, they've already won, you know.
Well, I think we're all born with a crown, because I have been really looking, when you look at, I look at babies a lot. The babies really, something about a baby having fun, playing, smiling is the most pure of a human being that exists. They're born happy, they play, they're fighters, they want the best. Babies are born with crowns. And if you're born with a crown, why can't you forever live with your crown? Because at the end of the day,
that's right.
You're born with it.
You know, you're saying that, and you know what I'm thinking? When you think about it, we talk about the crown of our heads. When we're being baptized, it's the crown of our heads that's being, water's being poured on. That it's the crown of our heads that the anointment is being put on. You know, we're being anointed on our crown, right? The oil is being put on the crown of our heads. And if we think like that, this is where we think. This is where all our manipulation of life takes place, right here. And what we need to do is focus here and make sure that what we think of people, how we think of people, how we think of ourselves and all of that, think how important, you know, bear in mind that it's very important if we do think like that. And it's because you brought that analogy, it suddenly made me think, wow, yeah, yes. You know, if everything is happening in our heads and in our heads and in our minds, that whole crown essence is important for us to really understand that it's important for us to see ourselves in a high, I don't know how to explain it. And always to be able to do better, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, my words are not coming as I would like them to.
Sure.
It was just that analogy was good.
That was fantastic. You know, Giselle, you spent a lot of time with us, and let me tell you, this time here, we were looking forward to this webinar. Maybe look forward to all the webinars. You know, this is 13. We're going for 16 in the first instance, and we really and truly, this discussion allows us to reflect on ourselves, and that crown, inverted commas, of what we can do from here and from the heart as well to make a difference in the lives of others. I have a special closing for you that was inspired only today for you. And I know Andrew may have a closing comment or so. But Giselle, we have some youngsters looking on. And some youngsters in particular, some of them different countries, some of them far in the countryside in Trinidad. And I want you just to take a minute or so and say something special to that youngster, because they may never got, even by this interaction, they may never meet you in person. I would like you to just as those two child in El Salvador and in Poland, just you could say something special to the youngsters in particular in our audience. You say anything as your heart is put on your heart to say something special to them.
Yeah. Well, before I say that, I just wanted to be a reference to something that I noticed that Claudia is saying, that success is like a relay. It is important to pass on the baton to empower others.
Comment.
So this is a moment for me to be able to try and empower you, the young people out there. I want you to be empowered, to be able to develop your own self. I want you to be empowered to look within yourself. I want you to be empowered to be able to make your own decisions, despite all the million of things that are being thrown at you every day. No matter what is being said to you, no matter what people are doing to you, you need to find that strength within you and find God as well. Find a stability to be able to reflect, to talk to. There's always the inner self that you can talk to as well. Say, why am I doing this? Should I be doing this? What do I want? Question yourself every single time. Don't take things at face value. Don't take things that everybody else says as the truth, the be all and end all. Question everything that you have the opportunity to question. And find compassion within yourself. Make sure that every time you do something because it is good, because you want the other person to feel better about themselves. And when you do that constantly, continuously, then you are doing good. And you will be able to shine. Your personality will shine. You will glow. You will find purpose in life. And if you continue doing that from now as a young child, as a young person, all the way into your adulthood, you will be a great adult and future.
Yes. That's what we're talking about. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. That's a fantastic way to leave a message for. And I think that's not only for the young ones out there. I think that's for everybody, to be honest. Everybody can receive that message wholeheartedly. And I wanna close off by saying to everybody out there that really and truly, you decide. You know, we've all been given the power to decide what we want to think or what we want to believe. And I really want to encourage everybody to really believe that true beauty that you have in yourself. Find it somewhere, because it is there. That's the fact. It is there and it will always be there. It's only you can decide that. And as you decide that, because I know you will if you don't already, spread that message around the world, because we've created these webinars and people are sharing it in the chat of how powerful the environment that you spend in is what really and truly can uplift you or bring you down. So find people that, you know, really uplift you and tell you that you're beautiful and tell you how special you are to them. And even when people are not telling you that, even though you want it, tell it to somebody else, because they probably could use it too. And just, if you continue to spread that and talk like that, you will attract that. That's a fact. And I really believe that. The way you operate, the way you talk is what you're going to attract more of. So continue telling everybody you're beautiful, that they're beautiful, and continue telling everybody how much you love them, and stay positive. And that environment that you live, you'll attract more and more of that. And when you make people feel good about themselves, it also makes you feel good about yourself too. So it's a law of attraction that will come right back to you with all that lovely beauty and positivity.
Yeah. Well, Andrew, as we get ready to close off, you know, this is webinar number 13. After 13 is 14, and 14 very quickly, we're looking at child abuse and domestic violence on a first-hand view with Sophia Noel. So we're going to have Sophia Noel with a first-hand view with child abuse and domestic violence. She's going to tell a story, a particular story to us. But Giselle, before you go, I want to share something with you. And I didn't, a part of these webinars, everybody know Don is going to do something with a word. You know, he always has a word. What is he going to do with the word today? And Andrew, inspired today is with the word beauty. And I want you to listen to me very, very quickly. Beauty, B-E-A-U-T-Y. Beauty, the first part about beauty, and if you listen carefully to what Giselle had to say, the first part about beauty is knowing who you're meant to be. Knowing who you're meant to be is very, very important. And when you're in that journey of knowing who it is you're meant to be, after the B-E, after 2 is 3. So the next 3 letters go A-U-T. And that A-U-T is the beginning of authentic. And be your authentic self. Giselle, that's what we appreciate most about you. So be authentic. And then that why, make sure you're able to find your why in life. And Giselle, you've found your why, you've found your reason for being, and the fact that you're doing it, because some people find it but don't do it. You either use it or lose it. If you abuse it, people refuse it, they don't choose it because there's no use for it. And just as certainly, you have certainly found your why, and you're helping not just the youngsters who are on, as Andrew said just now, you continue to help everyone find their why, their reason for being. And Giselle, we want to thank you on behalf of Trinidad and Tobago. I know you've gotten a lot of thank yous, but again, let me tell you, Miss World will always be Miss World. 1986, 1987, you will always be Miss World. And that's what you are, because you're a better person in the world. You've actually shown us and helped us understand that we are all indeed beautiful. We say to you, Giselle, God bless you. Keep you on your journey, right? Keep you fighting. I know that's both literally and figuratively, you know, but keep you fighting and fighting for us all to understand that we are indeed beautiful. I feel more beautiful today after hearing you, and I'm sure Andrew does, and I'm sure in our audience, if you feel more beautiful today and you understand that beauty is not skin deep, you could actually type it, but you could actually just send a little message to Giselle quickly and to tell her thank you as well. But Giselle, thank you for being here with us. This is Positive Moments with Andrew and Don, and we ain't done yet.
My pleasure. My pleasure. It's been certainly an honor. I really enjoyed it. And if somebody gets something from this today, I am really, really happy. So thank you for having it and having me here.
Thank you very much to everybody for joining us today. We really appreciate every single one of you. From the bottom of my heart, you are all very, very beautiful, just the way you are. And I want to thank you so much for joining us here today. Thank you, Republic Bank, for allowing us to continue to have the platform. Giselle, we really appreciate every word, every second. Thank you so much for taking time out to be here with us on such a powerful, special topic that went really nice. God bless you, everybody. Don, close the show.
Okay, so it's hard to say goodbye. We cannot tell a lie. Giselle, after listening to your story, I can tell you there's a genuine cry. We love you. We appreciate you, Giselle, and God bless you on your journey. You continue on. Lots of love. Lots of love.
Bye-bye.
Oh my, thank you. Look out for this on Positive Moments with Andrew and Don. We put it on the YouTube in probably an hour's time. Positive Moments with Andrew and Don. Look at our YouTube channel and you'll be able to get
everyone.
This.
Thank you.
Giselle.
Bye. Thanks, everybody.